Good morning, afternoon, evening, as the case may be, in your part of the world. For those of you who don't know me, I'm ZenArcher, and I just wanted to tell you about my day. So every year about this time is the Cleveland Triathlon. Now the Cleveland Triathlon is a triathlon that is to support research and the health care of those people who have cerebral palsy, either children or all the way through adult lifehood. They help find them work, things to do, make sure that their quality of life is as good as it can be. And I, as a kayaker, am privileged enough to be able to volunteer every year in order to assist the swimmers in the triathlon should they need it while they're running their course. My kayak group, the Bradstreet Kayakers, the kayak group that I belong to, we volunteer as a group and we get in the water along with the U.S. Coast Guard and along with some scuba divers and make sure that those swimmers are safe. Many of them have never swam inside the lake before in their life. So it's a new experience for many of them. They've trained in pools, but when you swim in the lake, it's a whole other story. At any rate, I got up this morning getting ready to go ahead and volunteer once again. I'll get a t-shirt out of it, and I will get the enjoyment of participating in this event. So I went and yesterday I washed my kayak off. It's sitting over here, and it's looking pretty good. I will turn it over for you and show it to you. So it's got some leaves on it right now, but that's my kayak. It's a kayak. Many of you have seen my videos of me in it paddling, and that's my kayak. So it's looking pretty good, and I got that all done, and then I decided that I needed to get out my life vest and my paddles, of course, because after all, you can't really kayak without either one. So I opened my van door, and I went to open the other van door, and this happened. I've worked on this for an hour now, and that door is not opening anytime soon. Okay, so I can lift up the bed and I can pull the paddles out. I can still work around that. So I thought, well, I'll go in, I'll get a cup of coffee, and I got my coffee, just coffee out of the pot from last night, poured it into my cup and went to the microwave, and bada boom, bada bing, the microwave isn't working. Well, that sucks, but life is life and life goes on. So what do? I come out, I put some ice cubes in it, a little milk and sugar, and I come out and sit down, have a smoke, and I'm looking at my kayak. I'm sitting here, and my kayak is over there, and I realize that, guess what? The registration on my kayak has expired. Have you ever had one of those days where nothing seems to go right? Now it's Saturday evening, so there's no way that I can go and register the kayak in time to go to the event. I'm certainly not going to put a boat in the water, especially with all the Coast Guard and everything else around. I'm not going to put a boat in the water for the event that is not a registered vehicle or registered boat. It's just one of those days. You know, now what do you do when you have a day where everything seems to go wrong? You roll with it, right? I mean, the one guaranteed thing in life is that things will change. No matter if they're good or bad, it will change. Your life will change. So, I'm having my iced coffee. I'll probably have a couple more. I'll eat some cold pizza left over from last night later on this evening, and then I'll worry about making dinner on the stove. But I had to contact my friends and say, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to participate this year. And I'm really going to miss it. I'm sure we've got 20 or 30 kayakers that are in the water. I'll put some pictures up here, and you can see that this is behind the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and it's in Buena Beach Park. It's the North Coast Harbor. So that's me in my kayak. I think that was 2 years ago, and Here are a couple of my friends from my kayak group, and of course the swimmers in the water. You can see the skyline of Cleveland is just beautiful, and I tell you, it's a very rewarding event. And that's where they paddle from. They go all the way out to the breakwall and back, which is amazing. And there's one team, Team Miles, who actually puts Miles, who has cerebral palsy, a youngster who has cerebral palsy. They put him in an inflatable raft and tow him when they're doing the swimming part of the triathlon. And then I believe when they get out, they have a bike seat so he can I get a little emotional, but he can be in the bike part of the race, and they've got one of those push things, and that they can put him in, and he can participate in the entire triathlon, which I think is fantastic. But anyway, it kind of hurts that I'm not going to be able to go this year. I'm not going to be able to participate and volunteer. It's been very rewarding all the other years that I've gone. Last year, I was the closest boat to a gentleman who often the swimmers will need to take a break, and they'll hold on to the front of the kayak just to kind of catch their breath. And this gentleman held on to my kayak and then explained that he was having an asthma attack. And so I had to motion for some of the other kayakers and some of the lifeguard personnel that are there, the Coast Guard that are there. They put scuba divers in the water, and they took him in, and he was fine, and that was good. But man, I hate to miss the event, but there's no other choice. Anyway, if you're in Cleveland, and by the time you see this video, the event's going to be over. But mark it down in your calendar for next year, the Cleveland Triathlon, to benefit research and the support of those people who have cerebral palsy. Until next time, as always, you be well, and tell me, what do you do when you're having one of those days when nothing seems to go right?